Good day everyone, I am Jolene Mutige from BEd3A and I am here in front of you to report my topic. So, what is my topic all about? My topic is about reporting to parents report cards. But first, let's find out what is report cards. Report cards is to communicate the success of a pupil academically in order to assess the consistency of a student's schoolwork. A standard report card uses a ranking scale. But do you know that report card has also a goal? So let's find out what is the goal of report card. The first goal of report card is to remind the parents of a child during the school year of his or her academic success. So Milwani 2003 in her explanation of key components of report cards stated that report cards comes in a various format and sizes. Also, she added that there are two main aspects in the layout of the report card. First, the report card uses a scales of descriptors specifically specified within a school district in terms of uniform requirements. And secondly, the narration portion or the narrative section is there. And this is where you write remarks on the result of each learner. So we have this set 1 and set 2. But first, let's tackle what is set 1. And set 1, we have this well-developed. So it means working above the level for the student's age or grade placement in a specific academic area. Second, we have this developing as expected. Developing as expected in each scale, concept, or behavioral area. This reflects progress that is appropriate for the age or grade placement. So for the third one, we have this beginning to develop. It means demonstrates interest in and participates to a limited degree in a specific activity. And last one is not yet apparent. It means this does not indicate failure, but rather reflects a different rate of development. And that's all for set 1, and now let's proceed for the set 2. And set 2, we have this consistently. From the word itself, consistent. It means very good, always the same top quality. And second, we have this usually. Means good, often, and most of the time. Third, we have this occasionally. It means being fair, but also needs improvement. Once in a while, now and then. Next, we have also developing. It means growth is being shown. And for the word sometimes, it means that not often. And of course, we have this not yet. Not yet, it means expectations has not been achieved. Aside from that, we have this a consistently demonstrating or known as CD. Consistently demonstrating is that the student is independently applying and integrating skills that have been taught. He or she is showing continued understanding of the concept. Next one, we have this DV or developing. The student is in the process of learning and applying skills that have been taught. He or she is making steady growth toward understanding the concept. And of course, we have this NI. When we say NI, it means needs improvement. From the words of NI, the student is having difficulty in applying the skills that have been taught. Therefore, he or she needs more practice to develop an understanding of the concept. Now let's move on to the needs improvement, and now let's proceed to the excellent. So, for you, what is excellent? Of course, excellent student demonstrate a thorough understanding of the subject concerned, processes the subject at a high level, and communicates the results of learning in a variety of clear, original, and of course, thoughtful ways. Aside from that, let's proceed to this proficient. A proficient student demonstrates a good understanding of the subject concerned, processes the subject matter well, and he or she communicates the results of a learning clearly and efficiently. And the other one is capable. A capable student demonstrates an adequate understanding of the subject area, processes the subject matter appropriately, and, and is competent in communicating the results of learning. And the last one, we have this developing. From the word itself, developing, it means a student at the developing stage is still progressing toward competence in the subject area concerned. So now let's proceed to the tips on writing report card narratives. First, be precise and carefully pick terms. When reporting on problems the subject is facing, of course, bring students samples before you. Second, be effective and code specific. Third, avoid jargons or acronyms. And fourth, have the agendas in mind. Fifth, stop repetition. If they are not overused, the phrases is good, fine, and excellent are appropriate, however they generally are. So stop duplication and find synonyms. Now let's proceed to increase the readability of the comments by. First, using sentences of varying length. Second, using a variety of sentence structures. And third, keeping the language simple. And fourth, using active verbs. Now let's proceed to the narrative formats used most frequently on report cards. But do you know that in narrative formats we have a three, and these are the positive and negative format, the poor grade format, and the progressive format. But first, let's tackle the positive and negative format. The positive and negative format, it means where a student is having a difficulty with places within a subject. But of course, it helps you to speak about the success of the students on the various topics. Next one is the poor grade format. You exclude places in this layout in which the learner has scored a successful grade and let the marking speak for itself. And here, the idea is to get the root, the place or areas where the students has earned a low grades. And lastly, the progressive format. In progressive format, you return to where you left off in the previous term. But in this layout, and concentrate on monitoring performance between marking times. Example, in the case of a student who earned a bad grades in a term, and these structures can help to perform a particularly well. After the narrative format, we have also the parent-teacher conference. But what is parent-teacher conference? Of course, it is a conference with parents and teachers, but it is usually a meeting that lasts for about 30 minutes. Actions and social problems will be addressed, and it focuses on learning. The instructor will evaluate the success of your child, including achievements and areas requiring development. And that's from Gavin 2017. We have a do's and don'ts for successful parent-teacher conference. First, let's tackle the do's. We have this: give plenty of notification to parents. Know that there are busy lives and complicated work schedule for parents. The more notification you give them, the more likely the parent-teacher meeting will be able to attend. Second, the parent-teacher conference will meet and finish on a good note. Note that parents are also often stressed. By beginning with your optimistic impressions of their child, set them at ease. Once you have clarified certain areas of progress, end the conference up with more stuff that parents can feel positive about. Third is that be structured. For each student, fill out a pre-conference form, complete with room for your notes and follow-up problems. Of course, your organization will encourage confidence in your ability to support their child. Next one is be actively listen. Concentrate to truly understand what they are attempting to express to you while the parents talked. You are creating a cooperative partnership with that. Next one, Have students work example to back up the points. It means show the parents what you observe in the classwork while explaining learning expectations for the student, which just indicates a desire for progress. Next one, send homework to parents. To help their child learn this school year, think about a 2 to 3 personalized activities that parents should do at home. It will not always happen, but it is worth a shot. Next one is that for touchy circumstances, call the principal. Sometimes teacher needs to ask for help. Once particular group of parents is being aggressive towards you, and if the mood of the meeting continues to sour, then the principal will serve as a witness for you. After this, we have also the don'ts. First is that don't break from the subject matter at hand. It means consider that you are holding this conference and keep the meeting on track. Next one, of course, do not get emotional. Keep it professional and impartial when you explain the actions of a single child whom you have witnessed. Because if you remain reasonable and cool, it is possible that the parents will too. Next one, of course, don't run late. Do anything practicable to keep things going in a reasonable time until the parent-teacher meeting timetable is set. Parents have busy lives and at the scheduled time have left everything to meet with you. Next one, don't have a stressful classroom. We all know that in the chaotic course of a school day, classrooms can get messy. But to make the best possible impression, spend some time arranging your room, especially your desk. And of course, do not also overload the parents with so many tasks at home. You need to choose 2 to 3 realistic ways for parents to facilitate home learning. Be precise and provide them the support they would need to assess their child. And that's all for my topic.